The rent prices are a lot higher than in Slovakia where I live, but since since I've moved here, I had to sustain myself, so I had to pay for it myself. Whereas at home, my parents obviously took care of all that. So it's been a big shock financially because this is the first time that I actually had to, pay for rent myself, pay for food, pay for, everything like living expense related. Um, and so it's been quite a task to kind of manage my money. Sometimes I splash out, and the other times I have to be, okay, like I can't afford to, do maybe what I would want to do. So it's been a big shock, definitely.
And so you're involved in the campaign, Cut the Rent.
Yes, I'm a rent striker because I just feel like we shouldn't have to pay as much money for what we're getting, and neither should future students that want to live that are going to live here in years to come, because I would understand if I would be paying £130 for an apartment of four where I have one kitchen, like I have a private bathroom, or even a shared bathroom, but with four people, not 10 or 14. So I don't think that the rent price is all right. I think it's too high, and I know that you can get a private accommodation for, let's say, £100 in Zone 2.
And what are you getting for £130?
So I live in a flat with 9 other people, but I am also sharing a room. So I have a roommate, but the single rooms, I believe they pay around £135 a week. But since I have a roommate, it's a little bit cheaper. But with that comes, lack of privacy, lack of space, because we do have a little bit of a bigger room, but since it's 2 people in there, for one person, it's significantly smaller. And then we have a shared bathroom and a shared kitchen. So we share 2 showers and 2 kind of toilet areas with in between 10 people, which is a lot.
What are UCL doing? Are you in talks with UCL?
Well, not me personally, but yes, I think that so far they have been like, oh yes, we're concerned about it, but they don't really want to do anything. But I hope that in the end that we will come to some kind of a conclusion. The best possible outcome would be to cut the rent by 40%, but that's still in process.
And do you have to work alongside it to cover the rent? How do you afford it?
I had some savings from when my parents have been saving money for me ever since I was born, so like to use for college or when I start to live on my own. So I had to take out a significant amount from my savings account just to be able to afford to live here in the cheapest accommodation at UCL. And then I am still looking for a job, and I did kind of find one, but it's kind of not steady. So I am trying to work and essentially get my finances to be able to live in London for 3 years.
Does the university help in any way? Do they subsidise?
I have received the undergraduate bursary in full, which is £3,000, because I come from from not just a family. I come from a country that like the average income is way lower than London or the UK one. So yes, I do receive a bursary. However, that still does not cover everything. Like I have to pay about £4,100 for the whole year. So that only covers about 2/3 of my actual accommodation fees.
Do you have any other questions?
No, I think that's perfect.
I have a question. If you just carry on looking
at me.
Sorry. Well, you can look at me when I ask it. So you mentioned the fact that you're paying £130 to share your bathroom with 9 other people, and you're not living in a flat with 4 friends, and so it should be a lot cheaper for you. You know that you can get that sort of rate on the open market. So have you thought about? Why haven't you considered renting privately, for example?
Well, first of all, it's really hard to kind of rent a flat straight away, because when you're first coming to uni, I didn't know anyone that was going to the uni. Later I found out that there's one other guy who I went to school with who also goes to UCL, but I didn't know anyone in London, so who would I rent a flat with? Like, I didn't know, I didn't have any friends, so I think for the first years especially, it's like, it's kind of a safe place to go when you know that you are going to be tossed into a flat with, I don't know, like 3 to 10 to 13 other people, but you're gonna make some friends over the course of the first year, and then the second year and the third year you have friends, so you can think about moving in with them. But in the first year, like, I wouldn't be able to pay for a flat just by myself, of course, and then I just feel like it's a kind of a risk to be tossed into an apartment with just random people, whereas in flats, like, you have a lot of students all together, so if you don't get on well with someone in your flat, you can always go to another flat where you have friends, and so